Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a pretty quick video of kind of my standard procedure for cooking a brisket. What we've got here is this is a 4-pound brisket that I just picked up. It's got a pretty decent fat cap on it, as you can see. Some guys, depending on how big the fat cap is, like to go ahead and trim this up a little bit more. A lot of times you're going to see the entire thing covered with a nice fat cap. In this case, you know, we're missing a little bit here, a little bit over here on the edge. That's really not that big of a deal. This is a little bit thicker right here in this area, so you could trim a little bit of that off if you wanted to. Generally speaking, I'm not really too concerned about that unless it's really thick. So this is pretty good looking, 4 pounds. We're going to be doing this with a Boston butt and then a 5-pound chicken. So we're going to have a pretty good meal tomorrow. So what I typically do with briskets and butts, if you haven't heard about this, it's basically just taking some cheap mustard and kind of just slathering the whole thing with it. What this does is allows the rub to kind of just lock in and stay on the meat a little bit better. I cover the fat cap side too. You don't have to use much, so you just give it a little squirt here. After the meat has cooked and it's ready to eat, you won't even taste the mustard. So it's really just for locking the rub in. It works out pretty well. So you can see here I've got both sides covered pretty well. You don't have to go too crazy with it. Wash my hands real quick. Alright, what I'm going to do this time around, I've got a few different rubs that I like to use. What I'm going to do this time, if you can kind of get in close here a little bit, this is a rub off of patiopitmasters.com. These guys kind of have a staple rub that they put together. They've got the recipe on their website. I'll put the link to it in the video description. Basically, it's Lowry seasoning salt, Montreal steak seasoning, white sugar, cayenne, garlic, and paprika. And that's about it. And so you can see it's pretty good consistency here. So we're going to try this. They claim that this goes good on butts, briskets, ribs, chicken. I normally use a rub on briskets that's got a lot more paprika and cayenne and garlic in it, and a lot of black powder. Since we're using the Montreal steak seasoning, you can see there's already some pepper in it, so the recipe didn't actually call for black powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing rubbed down. I like to put a pretty thick coat on briskets because I want it to have a nice bark when it's done. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, just go ahead and flip this over because we want to get both sides. This stuff looks really good. Had some really good feedback on this rub. A couple friends had done this recently and told me it was just really good. Like I said, I'm going pretty thick on this. You're not going to really mess anything up. I'm going thick on a rub like this. You can see on both sides now, once you get it nice and rubbed in, that mustard just has its stuff locked in. That's really all about I do right there. Okay, both sides look just about the same. Get in close there a little bit. See a nice thick layer on there. The last step is I buy the cheapest garbage bags I can find. And I just take this guy and throw it in here. And then just try to get all the air out and tie it in a knot. And then you throw this in the fridge. I like to go at least 24 hours. You don't have to go that long if you're kind of under a time crunch, but generally speaking, get it in the fridge for 24 hours and that's it. It'll be ready for the cooker. Alright, so I got the chimney going. I've got it about 3/4 of the way full. You can go a little bit higher than that, depending on how long your cook's going to be. Different guys do it different ways. I generally just do about half a chimney full. I'm following kind of the minion method that most of you know about. The whole premise of the minion method is just having the majority of your charcoal briquettes and your charcoal ring in your cooker unlit, and I normally just dump a whole bunch in there, and then you do just, you know, half a chimney full, 3/4 of a chimney full of lit ones, and so we'll throw them on there, and then just during the cook the other ones just gradually light. So it's just a kind of trial by error. Some guys only do a little bit in the chimney, some do a whole thing full. So I'm just basically these are nice and white and ready to go. I'm going to come over here and basically just kind of sprinkle these around. I probably could have let them get a little bit wider, but it's okay. And I just sprinkle them around, and I'm basically just going to go ahead and put the top on and get it cranking. All the vents are wide open, and about 45 minutes from now I'll go ahead and get the brisket on. About 15 minutes before I throw the brisket on, I'm going to go ahead and get some wood chunks on there, and probably some pecan and some oak, and I'll check back in about halfway through the cook and let you see what the brisket's looking like. Alright, here we go. We are 7 hours into the cook, so I'm going to go ahead and see how the brisket's doing and check the temperature. Alright, so the brisket is on the right. I told you earlier I was going to be doing a butt and then a chicken, or I think I said that. But I just got a little small, like 4-pound butt right there on the left, and a big old 6-pound chicken on the bottom rack. But let me go ahead and see how we're doing here on the temp. Nice bark forming, as you can see. Smelling really good. This guy is just about done. I kept it at about 225, 230. So we're getting pretty close to 185. I'm probably gonna let it go to 190. We're gonna be eating a couple hours, so it'll probably hit 190 here pretty soon. I'll just foil it, and I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like in just a bit when I slice it open. All right, here we go. So the brisket went about 8-9 hours. So like I said earlier, it's a 4-pound brisket. I foiled it about an hour ago because we were waiting on this chicken over here to get done. I've got a tiny, like, little 4 or 5 pound butt over there, but as you can see here, nice bark on this brisket here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of take this guy out. Alright. So what you want to do is you want to kind of look for the grain of the meat. And you can kind of see that it's going this way right here. Just like this. This was, we had the fat cap on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cut a couple pieces here. Look at that right there. So you see the bark right there. You got a little bit of a smoke ring coming in. I think you can see that. It's coming in about an eighth to a quarter of an inch right there. Pretty good bark on the outside. It's really good. Super tender, really juicy. Really good bark. Here's another good shot right here where you can see the smoke ring. So that's it. 4-pound brisket. About 7-8 hour cook. Super good. So we're about to get down on this and this chicken and this butt over here. So I hope you enjoyed it.